People love to talk about toxic personalities and narcissists, but what if I told you some of the most misunderstood diagnoses in psychiatry all live under one cluster, cluster B, and they're not about manipulation or malice. They're about survival and coping mechanisms. Different ways the mind learned to protect itself when safety was never guaranteed. In psychiatry, personality disorders are grouped into three clusters. Cluster A is the odd or eccentric types. Cluster B is the dramatic, emotional, and erratic types. And then cluster C, which are the anxious and avoidant types. Cluster B includes borderline, histrionic, narcissistic, and antisocial personality disorders. These are the ones that often make headlines, break hearts, and fill therapy and sometimes courtrooms with confusion. They all share one similar thread: intense emotion combined with unstable self-image and unstable relationships. But they express that intensity in four completely different languages. At their root, cluster B disorders are not about being bad or evil. They're about being unmet. Each one begins as a child's attempt to survive emotional chaos. If I cling, maybe you'll stay. Sounds like borderline. If I perform, maybe you'll love me. Sounds like histrionic. If I perfect myself, maybe I'll be safe. That sounds like narcissistic. If I dominate, no one can hurt me, which is antisocial themes. Different strategies, same origin. Pain and fear disguised as personality. We all have traits from these clusters. Bits of intensity, pride, or self-protection that don't make us disordered. What makes it a personality disorder is when those traits are rigid, long-standing, and cause suffering or dysfunction in nearly every area of life. Unfortunately, cluster B labels have become cultural insults. People say borderline like too much, narcissist like evil, antisocial like dangerous, and histrionic like attention seeker. But in reality, these are adaptations which are complex, painful, and deeply human attempts to find stability in instability. Here's a quick look at how each one moves through the world. Borderline feels like everything at once. Terrified of abandonment, relationships feel like war and worship all at once. Histrionic uses charm and expression to stay seen. Emotions become theater because that's how they were heard. Narcissistic constructs a flawless self-image to hide shame, and they need admiration to feel real. Antisocial distrusts systems and people and takes control before control can be taken from them. They look different on the surface, but they all revolve around self-protection through emotional intensity. Cluster B disorders are treatable not by shaming, but by patience. Therapy focuses on helping people build self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a stable identity. Approaches like DBT, schema therapy, and mentalization-based treatments have strong evidence. Healing starts when the goal shifts from changing who they are to understanding why they became that way. For many, that's the first time anyone's really looked at them and given them a chance and really seen them and said, I see both sides. Because Cluster B isn't a list of villains, it's a map of human defenses, coping skills, unhealthy, maybe, drawn though by people who learned intensity because silence never kept them safe. If we can stop treating these diagnoses like character flaws and start seeing them as pain stories, we might stop confusing survival with sin. My next episode will be about histrionic and narcissistic personality disorders. I think it's important we discuss these disorders for what they really are and break the stigma around them and promote healing, because it is possible, but not in the societal environment that we're currently in, where there's so little understanding about these disorders and so much misunderstanding about what they really are. I think partly because a lot of cases that get sensationalized are extreme cases, but these disorders also exist on a spectrum. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.